Greetings. I'm very thankful to be here right now. I'm thankful that you're all here with me. This exact experience wouldn't exist without every single one of us, right? Life is a really amazing opportunity. Like, we all came here for a reason. It's not just, some random, thing. Like, life is this really, 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 really grand opportunity. And thankfully, I have gotten really good at taking advantage of that opportunity and really seizing the moment and really living, taking a lot of deep breaths, putting myself on the line, pushing my own limits, building a life around things that I really love, things that feel really good. But I also know what it's like to not like being alive at all. And as good as life is right now, like, when it sucks, it sucks. Ah, man. Life, it's the contrast. It's the contrast that allows us to have an experience. There's a lot of New Age folk, a lot of spiritual folk that talk about oneness. And they talk about oneness as though it's a goal. It's like where we're trying to get to. But from my perspective, we're always one. We're always one. We always have been. We always will be. And we are right now. We may not be aware of that. We might not be consciously experiencing that right now, but that actually is the case. And science, quantum physics, can actually prove that scientifically. Right? They can prove that everything is made of the exact same stuff. And so there's this really beautiful thing, because whether you're a spiritual person or a religious person, or whether you're a science person, like, truth is the truth. And truth supersedes belief. Truth supersedes dogma. Truth supersedes formula. It supersedes, right? It connects us all, regardless. So, if there's a God, for example, it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not, there is a God, right? And whether you believe we're one or not, we are one anyways, right? So we're having an experience, and this experience is coming from this contrast, and it's in the contrast that we get to have the experience. So oneness isn't really the goal, because in oneness there is nothing. Everything is actually nothing. It's the space in between. It's the contrast, right? The me and the you, right? The tall, the short, the elderly, the young and the youthful, the spry, the chipper, right? So none of it is right or wrong or good or bad, but it is different. It's contrast. So when I was 17 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, I was sort of at the peak of my misery. Just like, life is so bad, like, I wished I wasn't alive. I was like, oh my God, if this is all I have to live for, I just wish I wasn't alive, because this sucks. And I wasn't excited about anything, because there wasn't any, careers or jobs that I saw people have that I wanted. Not even the actors or the movie stars, even this glamorous and, great stuff. Like, to me, it didn't really have any appeal. I didn't see people that were in relationships that really resonated to me as, wow, that's what I want for my future, I didn't resonate with the way business was taking place in the world. I didn't resonate with the way food was being grown, the way it was being bought and sold. I didn't resonate with that. Really, for the most part, there wasn't really anything about the world I agreed with that had to do with humans, that had to do with humanity. From my perspective, basically, it was just like humans are a virus. They're just a virus on this earth, and all they're doing every single day is consuming, and destroying. And it's just like a flesh-eating virus. So if you've heard or seen flesh-eating viruses, you can get them on your skin. When they get on your skin, they just keep eating skin. They keep eating skin. They keep eating flesh until there's no flesh left to eat. And that's what it does. See, the flesh-eating virus, again, even the flesh-eating virus isn't bad. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's doing what it's designed to do. Right? It's like if you're a lion and you hunt a gazelle, you're not bad, right? You're not an evil creature upon this earth because you're killing something. Right? It's just you're doing what you're doing. You're playing your part in the circle of life. Right? And so the flesh-eating virus is playing its part in the circle of life. But if you're the human, if you are the body of flesh, and that flesh-eating virus is eating your flesh, you really don't like that virus. You really don't like that flesh-eating virus. You're like, oh my God, I hate you. Please get off of me. I will do anything to get rid of you. This is the worst. Right? So it's our perspective, it's our preference, right, that makes our experience good or bad. It's not ultimately good or bad or right or wrong, but the contrast from which we are having an experience is dictating whether it's good or bad or right or wrong. So I was having an experience that was really bad. That was my experience. It was painful. It was miserable. Right? It was miserable. It was so miserable, like I said, that I wished I wasn't alive. I was sick. I wasn't inspired. My life was just like, I refer to it as the dark ages because, it was just like years of like nothing. No inspiration, no purpose, no fulfillment, nothing great. It's just like every day I wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, get by, just barely get by. Like, I'm not miserable. I'm either not miserable enough, or I'm too cowardly to leave, to end it. Right? Either way, I'm still here and it sucks. And so I didn't have anything great to look forward to, and so I made a decision to myself, inside of myself. It was a pact with myself. It was a pact with the universe. It was a choice, and that choice is that I'm going to find something that I've never seen. I'm going to find something that I've never seen. And I'm going to dedicate my whole life to it. Otherwise, I'm done. I'm not gonna spend 60 years, living like my parents, living like my grandparents, living like, the parents of the kids on my baseball team, like the doctors, the lawyers, the movie stars. None of it was inspiring to me. It doesn't mean it was bad. It just means that from my perspective, my unique perspective, my preference, it was not exciting, it all sucked. My point is that while this was misery, while it was pain, while it was darkness, while it was fear, it was also opportunity. It was opportunity. It was that pain, it was that misery that got me so focused that I was able to make this huge choice to dedicate my entire life to something. No mundane, grind. I'm going to dedicate my entire life to this. So that was, 13 years ago. 13 years ago, and a lot of amazing things could happen. And I could sit up here for days and talk about all the amazing, stories, experiences that I've had. Well, for those of you that heard of the Garden of Eden, and for those of you who haven't, there's actually a Dallas Observer article up there on the table, and we had a front page story in that Observer, and today was actually the first time I've had a look in it. Well, the Garden of Eden is built on two key facets. One is to live the most awesome life possible. That's number one. And that's why the Garden of Eden exists, because, see, the Garden of Eden for me is sort of like, it's the playground. It's the vortex for creating and finding and experiencing that which I chose 13 years ago, which is to find something I've never seen. A whole new paradigm. A whole new paradigm. And that's what the Garden of Eden is. It's a whole new paradigm. And that doesn't mean you want to be there. It doesn't mean you agree with it. It doesn't mean you like it. But I don't give a fuck. Seriously. So that's what's so beautiful. And I'm not going around door to door. saying, hey, this is the new paradigm, get on board or you're going to hell. Right? I'm not doing that. I'm not, sending you, fancy things in the mail that says, come to this course and you'll be as cool as me in 3 weeks, and then you can go to the next course, and then, I'm not doing that either. I'm just living the most awesome life I possibly can. And that's the whole purpose of the Garden of Eden. The second purpose of the Garden of Eden is to share with everybody that I come in contact with, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through, a presentation, whether it's somebody I meet on the street. You can live the most awesome life that you can possibly imagine. And it doesn't have to be like my life. It can be like your life. It can be exactly what you want it to be. Now, this is really profound. This is really profound for a lot of reasons. Number one, because when I grew up, and part of the reason why life sucked so bad is because there really was no place to really be myself. There was always rules everywhere. Not just like laws and rules, but like social appropriateness. Like how long ago was it and what cultures did it start to develop where all of a sudden if you expose your body in a public place, you're like a devil or a demon? Like how did that start and where did that start? Well, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that I don't resonate with that at all. I think it's completely and totally and utterly ridiculous. Now, that also doesn't mean that I'm going to go door to door and say, this is utterly ridiculous and you need to repent, right? You need to change your ways. I'm just creating a world where I can be who I am. I can be who I am every single day. Every single day. I get to wake up at whatever time I want to. Oh, God. Have you ever experienced, seriously, have you ever experienced a day-to-day, a year-to-year experience where you wake up every single day whenever you want to? You wake up because you're fully rested and because you don't want to sleep anymore because you're excited to get up and do whatever you want. Like just that in and of itself is this extremely profound thing. I know what it's like to wake up to an alarm clock 5 days a week. And to me, now that I've experienced something that is the exact opposite of that, there's no way I could ever go back. There's just no way. I'll live out in the woods with nothing but a knife, which I have done. I'll live homeless on the streets and eat out of dumpsters, which I have done. I will never trade the freedom that I have experienced to do whatever I want to, whenever I want to, and be exactly who I am without any, judge me all you want. Judge me all you want. Judge me all you want. Judge me all you want, and I still love you. I still love you. I still love you because I love myself. Because I love my life. And if you want to try to challenge me, I love that too. Let's do it.